All right, today's message is the illusion of sickness. This is kind of what we've been talking about the past few weeks because it's so important right now, because this is what supposedly is destroying the planet right now is sickness, right? But we're talking about a virus that's coming and destroying the world. Now everything's got to shut down. You know, you got to run around with a star on your sleeve and all kind of crazy stuff again these days, because of sickness. So we want to look at the illusion of that. So I want to start with from the Bible, Matthew 9:22. Jesus turned and saw her. "Take courage, daughter," he said. "Your faith has healed you." Your what? Faith. Your faith has healed you. And the woman was cured from that very hour. He said, your faith has healed you. So what is faith? That's just a belief. That's all it is. So fear is imagination running wild. Faith is imagination focused. You're taking responsibility for your imagination. That's all faith is taking responsibility for your imagination. Fear is imagination running wild. Be not conformed to the patterns of this world. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Fear is conforming to the patterns of the world. Oh God, everything's great. Oh, you better go do this or else it's not. Like, whoa, y'all are crazy. Like, I'm just gonna move back into my center for a moment, right? And focus my imagination. Without vision, the people perish. So I'm going to focus my vision, focus my imagination on a vision. A vision for what? And that's really the question for everything that you experience in your reality that you don't like. If you don't like something that shows up in your reality, remember, every adversity carries with a seed of an equal or greater opportunity. The bigger the adversity, the bigger the opportunity. So the question is, what are you using it for? So let's also say, what am I using it for? What am I using it for? Whenever something shows up that you don't like, that you're resistant against, you say, well, what am I using this for? Because you're the one that gets to decide. It doesn't, the circumstances don't get to use you. You get to use them. Now, you could use them to use you, but it's still you doing it. You're still the creator. You get to decide, is this circumstance going to use me? If it is, it's because I'm forcing it to use me, right? And then what is it? What am I forcing it to use me for? So just, for example, we got a coronavirus thing going around. Well, what are you using it for? Everybody say, what am I using coronavirus for? What am I using coronavirus for? What am I using the things that I don't like for? What am I using the things that I don't like for? That's the question that you're going to start asking yourself. But you don't have to. You can keep running along unconscious and getting the same thing over and over that you don't want, like a fly banging its head against the window. Or you're going to say, well, what am I using this for? And then decide, well, do I want to keep using it for that? Because you can use it for something else. You can use sickness for something else. You can use a relationship. What are you using your relationship for? If you got a crappy relationship, well, what are you using it for? Well, so I can feel like crap about myself. Whatever it is. What am I using it for? And make a new decision. Use it for something else. Unless you want to keep feeling like crap, unless you want to keep being sick, unless you want to keep, having something to blame just so you don't have to take responsibility. But then you got no power and you're not awake. You're completely asleep. When you give away your responsibility, you go to sleep. The percentage of responsibility you take for your reality is the percentage of awake you are. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into the Course in Miracles. That's what I've been doing the past couple months now, just using the Course in Miracles, because I started, I think I might have I just got lazy or something, and I'm like, I don't really want to create anything. Or maybe I just didn't have time. I don't remember what it was, but I just did a Course in Miracles. I'm like, wow, that's really good. So now I'm a mix between, I'm just kind of lazy, and I can't create anything any better than this stuff that comes out of the Course in Miracles. So we could just use that, and it's just just better than anything that I could have done anyway. So lesson 136 is what we're going to be looking at. Sickness is a defense against the truth. Sickness is a defense against the truth. So let's go ahead and there, I think I got like 15 of these on here. I don't know if we're going to go through the whole thing. We don't know where this is going to go. So we might read for a little bit and then stop. I might read one of them and just stop and we'll talk about it, or we might just go through the whole thing. I don't know. We're just see what happens. So no one can heal unless he understands what purpose sickness seems to serve. Okay, no one can heal unless he understands what purpose sickness seems to serve. I saw some, like, it was like a quote that said, before you try to help somebody, ask if they're willing to give up the thing that is making them sick. All right. Like, because you can't, like, there's something that's making somebody sick. If they're sick, there's something they're using to make them sick. If they're in a crappy relationship, there's like, are you willing to give up the thing that is causing the problems? Because if you're not willing to give up the things that are causing the problems, then I can't help you. Why are we talking right now? Right. So no one can heal unless he understands what purpose sickness seems to serve. Because so the truth will set you free. So you got to understand the truth first. You got to understand why. Why are we doing what we're doing? That's why that question that we asked just a moment ago, what am I using it for? That's very important. What am I using this sickness for? But if we're unconscious to it, if it was just programmed in and we never took responsibility for our beliefs and our thought processes, if we've done that, then we don't even know what we're using sickness for. We don't know what we're using anything for. We don't know what we're using the pandemic for, if we're still unconscious to our own thoughts, if we're still being programmed, if we're still saying, no, I'm just going to be a consumer, I'm going to be an unconscious consumer and let Joe Biden tell me what to do, let Bill Gates tell me what to do, let the neighbor tell me what to do. If you're just still handing over all your thoughts to the external world, which isn't really even external in the first place, but you're creating this illusion where it is, so that you can just, feel what it's like to not experience love and the power of a creator. So we got to start asking the questions, because the quality of your questions will determine the quality of your life. So you got to ask quality questions if you want to have a quality life. A quality question is, what am I using this for? So no one can heal unless he understands the purpose that the sickness seems to serve. Why am I sick? What am I using the sickness for? Once I understand what I'm using it for, then I can replace it. For then he understands as well, its purpose has no meaning. There's no meaning behind the purpose. Anything that you use that's like a negative thing, everything that's negative, all suffering is artificially created, man-made. We created it. It wasn't God-made. It's not created from love. It's created from fear, which is something that we created. Fear is man-made. It's not real. Fear is false evidence appearing real. It doesn't even exist. It's an illusion. There's no opposite to truth. Lie is not an opposite to truth. There is no opposite of truth. There's truth, and there's this thing that we call a lie, but it's nothing, really, because it's nothing. You understand, a lie is nothing, right? It's not real. A lie is not real. So it's not the opposite of truth. Fear is not the opposite of love. There's no opposite to love. Love is the only thing that exists. But we can focus on that, the lack thereof, and create it and make it become more real than real. So, but once you understand the purpose that the sickness seems to serve, you understand that as well, its purpose has no meaning. There's actually no meaning behind it. There's no meaning behind suffering. There's actually really no meaning behind anything, any suffering, except for your ego to have power, except for you to feel like you're better than you were before, because like you're still trying to control. I want to be, it's the Lucifer complex, right? It's like, I want to be good as God. Well, we already were. You bought into the illusion. See, that's what I always say. We leave what is real in the pursuit of what appears to be. Faith without works is dead, and fear without works is dead. You get afraid that I'm not good enough, so then you take the action to become good enough. You just reinforce that you're not good enough, and now you're inside of this identity, inside of this illusion, and you're 2 steps deeper. You're in a dream deeper, a dream inside of a dream. So it's time to wake back up, come back out of the dream, and just see the truth. We don't have to do affirmations. We don't have to pump ourselves up. We just tell ourselves the truth. It's very simple. Just be honest with yourself. Being causeless and without a meaningful intent of any kind, it cannot be at all. So if it's causeless and it doesn't have a meaningful intent of any kind, it can't even be. It can't, like, when you get the logic, see, the ego is perfectly logical, yet clearly insane. It's logical in its insanity, because we've been living in a world of insanity. So someone who's sane seems insane, because we do the wrong thing so long the right thing feels wrong. So when you wake up from the insanity, so the ego is completely insane, but into a world that's built around ego, it's logical to be insane. It's actually logical to be insane. But when you start to wake up and say, okay, I'm gonna stop doing what doesn't work, because that's sane. What's insane is keep doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. That's the literal definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. That's literally insanity. What sane is I'm going to stop doing what doesn't work. And being sick, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So being causeless and without a meaningful intent of any kind, it cannot be at all. See, it says being causeless. It doesn't cause anything because it's not real. If it doesn't cause anything, it's not real. So when this is seen, healing is automatic. Healing is what? Automatic. Because the healing doesn't actually even happen. It's that I've always been healed is revealed. The healing didn't happen. It's that I've always been healed is revealed. Right? When we go to the Matrix in the movie, Neo's like, how do I bend this spoon? There is no spoon. How do I get rid of the sickness? There is no sickness. You understand? I mean, I know we've been doing the wrong thing so long, the right thing feels wrong. It's like, well, that sounds insane, John. It is insane in an insane world, but it's stop doing what doesn't work. How do I bend this spoon? There is no spoon. How do we end the pandemic? There is no pandemic. Oh, but John, there is a virus. I've seen it. I've seen people die. You're missing the point. Yes, because what you believe to be true is true for you. Even if it's not true, you got the full power of God. You were created in the likeness and image of God. You got the full power of God, but you've turned it against yourself. So when this is seen, healing is automatic. It dispels its meaningless illusion by the same approach that carries all of them to truth and merely leaves them there to disappear. I don't try to change the circumstances. I change my thoughts about the circumstances, and the circumstances change themselves because it appears without, though it is within. We don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. The world isn't supporting us. We're supporting it. We're supporting our world with our beliefs. What are you holding up? That's why that question, what am I using it for, is so important. Because remember, we go where we live emotionally. We use our environment to get ourselves there. What am I using this for? Well, how do I feel when it happens? Well, that's what I'm using for. I'm using it because I want to feel that way. How do you feel whenever the thing that you don't like happens? That's an emotion that you're addicted to because you grew up in that emotion. And it's your comfort zone because you're in control of that emotion. You're not in control of love, but you're in control of that emotion because it's artificially created. If it's not love, it's not peace, love, and joy. It's man-made. It's artificially created. So you got some control, but the only thing you have control over is your suffering. It's insane. And it's what we do. All right, so let's go a little bit further. Sickness is not an accident. Everyone say sickness is not an accident.
Sickness is not an accident.
I don't care what the news says. I don't care what Joe Biden says. I don't care what Bill Gates says. Sickness is not an accident. Like all defenses, it is an insane device for self-deception. What kind of device? Insane. It's an insane device just to deceive ourselves. And like all the rest, its purpose is to hide reality, attack it, change it, render it inept, distort it, twist it, or reduce it to a little pile of unassembled parts. The aim of all defenses is to keep the truth from being whole. See, the truth doesn't need to be defended. You actually can't defend the truth. The moment you try to defend the truth is the moment you've left the truth, because the truth, it's nothing can harm the truth. Why would you defend something that can't be harmed? Because you've fallen under the illusion. You lost the truth. The moment you try to defend it is the moment that you lost it. If you get into defense mode, anytime you're in defense mode, you're defending anyone or anything, you've now left the truth. You can be absolute certain that you're in a lie, you're in a story. You might be like pointing to the truth, like, yeah, what you might be talking about might be true, but you're not in the truth. You're in a story, you're in an illusion, you've left. So you can point at the truth, but you're not there. You can't even get anybody there. As you point at it, the only place you can take them is where you are. Now they might be able to blow right by you into the truth, but you aren't there and you can't get them there. So if you're defending it, everyone say, if I'm defending anything, I'm in a story, I'm in a lie. Right? So the truth, everyone say the truth does not need defended.
The truth does not need defended.
In fact, I can't defend the truth.
In fact, I can't defend the truth.
Can you guys see that? You can't defend it because it can't be affected. The truth can't be changed. Nobody can screw it up. Nobody can ever affect the truth. Like, so if you're trying to defend it, you think that you have an effect over it. If you're trying to have an effect over the truth, that's pure significance. It's pure ego. You're trying to control the truth. The moment that you try to defend the truth is the moment you try to control the truth, because you're getting some sort of significance out of it. Your ego actually grows. The moment you try to defend the truth is the moment your ego grows. So it might be true, the thing that you're talking about, but if you're defending it, your ego is growing. So you can feel better about yourself. You can feel, look, I'm the one that controls the truth. Ha ha ha. You want the truth? You come to me. Ha ha ha. Right? Yeah. So the aim of all defenses is to keep the truth from being whole. The aim of all defenses is to keep the truth from being whole. Because remember, we said earlier, I'm here to wake the world up to the truth. What's the truth? We're all one. Everything is perfect. Always has been. Always will be. Love is the only thing that exists. Nothing anybody can do about it. That's the truth. So all defense is to keep the truth from being whole. We're all one. Everything's perfect. Always has been, always. The parts are seen as if each one are whole within itself. So it's trying to create this separation in this illusion, so the ego can be in control. And it's like so strange that we talk about the ego, because the ego doesn't even exist. Like how are we talking about something that doesn't even exist? You know, but it's the same thing, you know, because we talk about at Awaken Life Live, there's the three selves. There's the ideal self, the real self, and the true self. And so what happens is we feel a specific way. So there's the truth, but then we encapsulate the truth because we've lost it. We start heading outwards because the truth is love. But we're like, I don't know how to get love, because we start out as completely dependent upon the world. And so if we're not dependent upon the world, then we die, the little body, which, you know, doesn't, you know, we've fallen under the illusion that we're the body right out of the gates, right? So that's where, so from then forth, we're trying to protect this little body that we think that we are. So we got to get our love from the outside in, because if we don't get hugged and held as a little baby, we die. So we're trying to get love from the outside in. And so we confuse love and attention. We think they're the same thing. If I got attention, I got love, but they're not the same thing. Attention is, if it has you, then it's a poison. If you have it, it's okay, no big deal. It's nothing, because it's no different than anything else. But we're going outwardly to try to get what we can only find on the inside. So we're trying to get love. So, and what we're doing to try to get love is to get attention or get significance. We're replacing love with attention or significance, calling it love, but it's not. And so we try to get more and more of it, and we're going outward. So the truth gets encapsulated by, well, I feel like I'm not worthy of love. So that's the real self. The true self is I am love. The real self, I'm not worthy of love because blah, blah, blah. I'm too fat, too short, too tall, too whatever, too black, too white, too purple, too whatever the thing is that we make up, whatever the condition that we create. I'm not enough. And then you feel that way. So that's your real self. That's how, I mean, you really do feel that way. But then we encapsulate the real self with the ideal self. We run away from that feeling. I got to figure out how to be in control so I don't feel this way anymore. But when we encapsulate the feeling and put on the mask, create the identity to try to protect ourselves from that feeling, we're encapsulating the feeling. The feeling's still in there. The feeling of unworthiness is still there. And so now we've encapsulated the truth with a feeling that's not even real, because we made up a story, a condition, a lie, and we've encapsulated the truth with a lie. I'm not enough because I'm not smart enough, or whatever. I'm never going to be worthy of love because I'm not pretty enough, or whatever the lie is. But you don't want to feel like you're not pretty enough or not smart enough. So then you put on the mask and you go try to protect yourself from that feeling. So this is about flipping the switch and moving back inward, because we're encapsulating all these things. And every time when you encapsulate, you're separating yourself, because the encapsulation creates the illusion of a wall. When we try to control, when we build up conditions, it's like these little walls that keep us separate from the other person, because it's a judgment. When we compare ourselves to someone else And anytime you say, well, I'm not worthy of love because I'm not smart enough, or whatever the thing is, you've now just judged someone else. I mean, you've judged everyone else. You've judged yourself and you've judged everyone else, because now the whole thing is a comparison. Now you got to look around and, well, find somebody who's less smart than you, and then you'll see other people who are more smart than you. And you've separated yourself from love, because remember, love is infinite connection. So we're just remembering love because we are members of love. Everyone say, I'm a member of love. So we're remembering, right? And as we remember love, like as we remember love, because we are love. So let's go on. Defenses are not unintentional, nor are they made without awareness. Now, this one's good right here. Defenses are not unintentional. Every defense is intentional. They're not, nor are they made without awareness. There is an awareness. Now, we can lie to ourselves and act like we didn't do it. But if we stop lying to ourselves and just stop for a moment, we'll understand, holy crap, I did do that. Yeah, I did. They are secret magic wands that you wave when truth appears to threaten what you believe. They seem to be unconscious, but because of the rapidity with which you choose to use them, in that second, even less, in which the choice is made, you recognize exactly what you attempt to do and then proceed to think that it is done. So it's like it's an instant manifestation. So you're acting like it did, like you weren't aware of it because it happened. It's so fast. Like, because again, we go where we live emotionally, we use our environment to get ourselves there. You're trying to control your reality. You're trying to get yourself to that hell that you've been in your whole life. That's why you create any of the problems. God says, the only thing I ask you sacrifice is your suffering. We're creating our problems. What is humanity's number one addiction? Problems. We're creating our problems to get us to that feeling that we're used to, our comfort zone, because we're in control of it. So we create, and it happens instantly. We start to defend and attack, and it's instant manifestation, because all manifestations are instant. It appears without, though it is within. This world is just showing you back what's inside of you. Oh, okay, cool. We gotta go ahead. Yash, come on.
Yeah, this line, like the 3-1, they seem to be unconscious, but because of the rapidity with which you choose to use them, like this is exactly what happened for me today.
Okay, say more.
So it's like as I mentioned, like I got furious, and rather than feeling it, I just took an instant action. And then I had this thing like, oh, why did I do that?
Yeah, and so you've been doing that your whole life, but this is the first time you couldn't contain it. You've been doing it to yourself. This is the first time it got out. You've been beating yourself up that hard your whole life. This is the first time you couldn't contain it anymore. Or not the first, now it's like not being contained anymore, but you've been doing that. Can you see that you've been doing that pattern your whole life of judging yourself and, getting upset with yourself?
Yeah, it's been a pattern for a while. Like I would do something, and after that I would feel bad about doing that. Like I would react and I would feel bad about doing that.
Yeah. So what do you get from this this little paragraph here? What's shifting inside of you? What are you going to use this for?
It's just that I'm saying myself, I'm just seeing that I am doing that consciously. In that moment when I'm making that choice, I'm doing that consciously.
Nice. See, that's responsibility. You're taking responsibility, because you could lie to yourself all day long and say, no, I didn't do it. It wasn't conscious. It just happened. Well, cool. Now you just trapped yourself inside of the lie, and then the pattern will keep repeating itself. But once you said, I am conscious of it, I'm aware. I just did it so fast. I'm just, manifesting so fast. I'm creating so fast that because if you would have, you had to do it so fast because you would have solved the insanity of it if you'd have paused it. Like if we pause ourselves for just a second, then we'll see how insane what the thing is that we're about to do. The negative thing we're about to create. We'll see the insanity of it. We're like, I don't want to allow myself to see the insanity of it. I just want to do it. So that's why we do it so quick, so we can get away with it.
Yeah, I've noticed this drive in me or a push in me that just do it instantly. Like the moment I start, I would be about to pause it, like just do it instantly, you know, like that split second. Yeah.
Yeah. So now you're talking, and what you're talking about is even more, so this could, like, what this is even pointing at is like, so when I'm sick, right, I did that, but I did it so rapidly that I can't see that I did it, because let's read through it again. So defenses are not unintentional, nor are they made without awareness. They are secret magic wands you wave when truth appears to threaten what you would believe. So why do you wave the magic wand? Why did you do it?
To defend.
Because the truth will set you free, but it'll piss you off first. The truth is threatening what you would believe. Like, so you had a belief, and that belief, because we create an identity around ourselves. So we got a belief. This belief is what we're using to control the world, like to control our world. Because I believe that, you know, if I believe I'm whatever the thing is that I believe I am, if the truth will come to shatter that thing. If I've got any sort of defense inside of me at all, sooner or later the truth is going to come in and try to and will shatter that defense inside of me. So if I've got any defense mechanisms anywhere that I've been using, any sort of beliefs, any belief that is being used to protect myself and to keep myself worthy of love, like I believe I'm great, whatever, even if it's like positive affirmations, whatever it is that I believe about myself to make me feel good, or whatever I believe about myself to make me feel bad, either one of those things that I'm believing about myself, so I'm creating an identity around myself, the truth sooner or later will come in and and hit that thing. So the moment that the truth comes in to destroy the lie that I've been telling myself, but I've been using to control it, using to create the illusion of control. Because I'm like, if you're in a relationship, you're in a dance with somebody else in the illusion that you guys are controlling each other. And so this belief will shatter that condition that you've created. And so that's when you pull out your magic wand. That's when you're like, uh-oh, I got to stop this truth from being seen. I've got to stop this truth from being revealed. So you create like a lie and suck your world into it instantly. So the reason you pull that wand out, the reason you defend is to pull out the wand. The reason you pull out the wand is because the truth is about to shatter your illusion. It's going to shatter the world that you created so you can control. So you can control love, really, because we're trying to control love. Every single action we're doing our entire lives that isn't just love flowing through us, is because everything is an act of love or an outcry for help. The outcry for help is trying to control love. It's like, I'm not worthy of love, so I got to figure out how to be worthy of love. And you take the action to try to earn it, to try to learn, earn, or deserve your way into love. So they seem to be unconscious, but because of the rapidity in which you choose to use them, in that second, even less, in which the choice is made, you recognize exactly what you would attempt to do and then proceed to think that it is done. So once you proceed to think, you recognize, here's what I would do, but then you think that it was done, and that thought that it is done is what creates the reality. You think it's already done, but it was never even done. So it's like it happens instant. You thought that you did the thing, and because you thought that what you believe to be true is true for you, even if it's not true. The biggest myth is I'll believe it when I see it. The truth is I'll see it when I believe it. And that's what you want and what you don't want. What you want, like the truth is I'll see it when I believe it. That's for what you want and what you don't want. So if you're seeing it, it's because you believe it. That's it. And so you think it's already done, but it was never even done. If it only exists in time, it doesn't exist. So the thing that you're still punishing yourself for right now never even happened. This is the crazy part. Like Josh, right now, you're still punishing yourself for something that never even happened because you believe it was done. So what are you using it for? What are you using that moment of losing control? Like, what is your ego using it for? And then once we understand that, let's go ahead and make a new use for it. So this whole thing that you've experienced, what is your ego using it for? You beating yourself up and all this stuff.
I'm using it for. So what is my ego using it for?
Yeah.
To not feel. I think that's it. To not feel.
Oh no, you're feeling though. What do you feel right now? Or when you think about what you did, what do you feel?
I feel it's like repeating like someone who will repeat the same mistake.
Okay. And what does it mean about somebody who would repeat the same mistake?
They're not learning. And if they're not learning, they're not growing.
And what does it mean about somebody who's not learning and growing?
It means they are not even stagnant, they are going down.
And what does it mean about somebody who's not even stagnant? They're actually going down. What's the judgment on somebody? Like what, if somebody's just not even stagnant, they're actually even going down. Like, what's the mean about it? What's judge them? If let your ego judge that person, the person who's not even stagnant, they're actually going down. What do you think about, what does your ego think about that kind of person?
Why are they here?
Yeah, well, they don't even deserve to exist, right? Is something like that?
Yeah, it's like there's no point for them to be in this world, or
they're a waste of space. Yeah. So your ego, what is your ego using this for? It's using it to make you feel like like you're just a waste of space, like you don't even have a purpose, like why I'm even here.
Yeah, I mean,
that
yeah, I'm not adding any value. In fact, I'm spreading more of what is not love.
Yeah. And so your defense came in to try to, so what you believed about yourself that made you think that you were worthy of love was, I'm adding value. Like you thought me adding value is what made you worthy of love. So that was your belief. And then this thing comes in like, actually, you're not adding any value. You're actually going the opposite direction. You're hurting. You're like, you're making things harder for the people that you love. All right. So then you're like, so the ego tries to defend against it, but you see the battle is going on. Remember when we do that release pattern, there's the fear and the desire that are fighting against each other. So you got a battle going on inside because you're trying to be enough by doing enough. Like if I can just add enough value, because the reason that you're trying to add enough value is so that you can be in control of love, because as long as I can add enough value, the people that I love won't leave me. The people that I love will love me. So you're trying to control love, but the thing is you can't control love. You can control attention, you can control significance, but you can't control love because love just is. But the moment that you trade in love for attention and significance is the moment you don't get to experience love anymore. Because there is no such thing as conditional love, but you've added conditions upon love. So you're trying to learn and earn your way to heaven. You're trying to do enough. You're trying to be enough so that you'll finally be worthy. And now that you're all of a sudden, the truth has started to get revealed that, well, it looks like what's being revealed is that you're not enough. Like it looks like it's like the opposite, because you're like, your pendulum is way up here. Like, I've got to do this. I've been a good person. I've been doing the most I can possibly do. And you're like, so this is what makes me worthy. But now it looks like, shit, I'm actually even worse than, I'm not even just like neutral. I'm like detriment. And so it's trying to smash you down into believing that so that you'll do even more. It's like, if it can get you to believe this, then you'll do even more, and you'll just keep trying to push and grow and do even more. But both of those are illusions, because both of those are conditions that you set upon what has to happen in order for you to be worthy of love. And if you do it for yourself, you do it for the world too. You're judging the world. You're running around subconsciously judging everybody else. Oh, look, they're not doing enough. And underneath, like your ego wouldn't let you admit this, but underneath all that, if they're not doing enough, they're a waste of space. They shouldn't even be alive. Like if your ego get away with it, it would just kill them right off. Just like what, Bill Gates is doing, right? Just, oh yeah, y'all aren't even worthy. Let's just kill them all, right? Because that's what the ego does. Because he's judging it, his ego is judging himself. Can you imagine what it feels like to be Bill Gates? Just think about this for a moment. This guy, you think what you go through is bad, like of you beating yourself up for not doing enough. Imagine what this dude, the weight of the ego on that guy, what he's carrying around. I mean, he's got the whole weight of the world just smashing him. I've got to be the savior of the entire world. Like, that's what he thinks he's doing. He thinks he's saving the world. He said, he's like, I gotta replace the food supply for the whole planet so I can be the one that saved the world. I'm going to genetically modify all the food. I'm going to own all the farms, and everybody's going to eat my food. And then I'm going to save the world because they're all going to eat my food and I'm saving the world. And he really, he thinks that, but he thinks that he has to in order to be worthy of love. Like, he has to get everybody on the planet that's left on the planet to actually be eating his food. So look, see, I'm the most significant person on the planet. Now that I'm the most significant on the planet, because he thinks significant and love are the same thing. Now I'm finally worthy of love. So that's on a larger scale, but yeah, and imagine the pain of that, but you got it going on like a small scale. And we all do. We're all trying to figure out how we can control love. How can I be good enough so that somebody will actually love me? Because I don't want to lose these people that I love. So I got to figure out what I can contribute so they won't leave me. And that's where all this pressure is coming from. So let's just release. So it was what was your desire? What was the fear that you're not doing enough? Or it's even worse than not doing enough. What was it?
Don't deserve to be here. Is that what it was?
I don't even deserve to be here. I'm like a detriment. I'm hurting, fear of hurting those you love. Desire to help those I love and fear of hurting those I love. Is that it? All right, cool. You want to do the release? Let's do a release on that. Y'all want to do a release on that? All right. Let's everybody stay muted except for Yash, and then you guys will just all repeat after me. All right, Yash. Uh-oh, my power just shut off. This must be a good one. The ego's like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Shut him down. All right, here we go. Everybody just repeat after me along with Yash. I have the power of a made-up mind and a made-up heart.
I have a power of a made-up mind and a made-up heart.
Nothing in this universe can stop a made-up mind and a made-up heart working together.
Nothing in this universe can stop a made-up mind and a made-up heart working together.
I release my resistance of hurting those I love.
I release my resistance of hurting those I love.
I release my resistance of hurting those I love.
I release my resistance of hurting those I love.
I release my resistance of hurting those I love.
I release my resistance of hurting those I love.
I release my resistance of hurting those I love.
I release my resistance of hurting those I love.
I release my fear of hurting those I love.
I release my fear of hurting those I love.
I release my fear of hurting those I love.
I release my fear of hurting those I love.
I release my fear of hurting those I love.
I release the fear of hurting those I love.
I release my fear of hurting those I love.
I release my fear of hurting those I love.
I release my hate of hurting those I love.
I release my hate of hurting those I love.
I release my hate of hurting those I love.
I release my hate of hurting those I love.
I release my hate of hurting those I love.
I release my hate of hurting those I love.
I release my hate of hurting those I love.
I release my hate of hurting those I love.
I release my terror of hurting those I love.
I release my terror of hurting those I love.
I release my terror of hurting those I love.
I release my terror of hurting those I love.
I release my terror of hurting those I love.
I release my terror of hurting those I love.
I release my terror of hurting those I love.
I release my terror of hurting those I love.
I release my desire to be helpful for those I love.
I release my desire to be helpful for those I love.
I release my desire to be helpful for those I love.
I release my desire to be helpful for those I love.
I release my desire to be helpful for those I love.
I release my desire to be helpful for those I love.
I release my desire to be helpful for those I love.
My desire to be helpful to those I love.
I accept I am helpful for those I love and always have been.
I accept that I am helpful for those I love and always have been.
I accept I am helpful for those I love and always have been.
I accept that I am helpful for those I love and always have been.
I accept I am helpful for those I love and always have been.
I accept that I am helpful for those I love and always have been.
I accept I am helpful for those I love and always have been.
I accept that I am helpful for those I love and always have been.
And so it is.
Yes.
So how is it true that you are helpful for those you love and always have been, even when you were, being a jerk earlier?
Because I own it now.
What is it?
Because I own it now.
Because you own it now. Okay. What if you didn't own it now? How could you still be helpful for those you love, even if you didn't even if you never owned it?
It's not my job to be helpful.
What was it? What'd you say?
It's not my job to be helpful.
Okay, what's your job?
Just be.
Does this be?
Yeah, just be however I am.
Okay. Oh, how's that feel? How's it feel to just, your only job is to just be however you are?
Free.
Pretty good feeling, huh? Gosh.
If you were just being however you are, would that be helpful?
Yeah, because anything else is not. That's what I'm saying.
Nice. Nice. Anybody have any shares? Anything you want to? I see some few people crying right now. Y'all aren't being very helpful with running around just crying and shit. Hey, go ahead, Noel. Go ahead. Yeah, you muted it. Oh no, you weren't muted, but I couldn't hear you.
Okay, I'll put my camera off.
Okay. You're good now.
There's so much for me today of this whole thing, and thank you, Yash, because that was so useful to me, and this was just incredibly rich today for me. The whole package so far, and I had more to say, but I can't remember it. But that's all I'll say.
All right, I guess that was kind of helpful, but since you didn't remember what you were going to say, it was only partially helpful. So we'll partially love you, but
All right, well, I'm going to earn my love. I have to earn my love.
all right, you come back next week and you can fix this. You can fix what you've done here. And we'll start to love you again. You'll earn it. Yeah, you can earn right now. How much love did you earn today? 20. You got about 25%.
33%.
Okay.
I can't last a week with only 33%. That's not going to do it. There was more.
It's gonna have to come back next week and earn the rest. You got one more shot. Now that's your only shot though next week. If you don't earn the rest next week, you're out. Okay.
I'll work on it.
All right. Love you, Noah. Great job. Nancy.
Oh, that was so good. Thank you for bringing that up, Yash. I was repeating it and feeling the healing going within. Is even just yawning, I think, was releasing stuff. And then I started laughing and crying and started laughing and crying at the same time, but it looks like laughing. So I had to put my head down so I wouldn't look like I was laughing at you, though.
Because wait, what if you would have been laughing at
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
shit and you started laughing? What would that mean about you?
Your heart.
Totally not helpful.
Oh, that would mean I'd be worrying about what somebody else thinks.
No, that's not 5%. That'd be negative love. You'd actually.
I'm sorry, it's loud. Yeah, no, that was really good because I was as I was saying it, it reminded me of like texting my family stuff or even speaking to them when they're not really seeing things the way I see it and sharing it, and then worrying about that I dumped on them or that I sent them some information that I want to know if it blessed them or not. Was I good enough?
Yeah.
All that kind of that lovely stuff. But can I turn it to like the healing part? Because like, is that okay? Or you want to listen to somebody else? Yeah, so the like knowing, like I have some eye stuff that's pretty serious, especially the left eye. And I know it's something within me that's creating it. And I'm not, going to surgery or anything because I know it's all within me to heal. But what this is talking about is that we really know, we're really aware, but how do you truly tap into the awareness, And I want to cry. I haven't been still enough to tap into what's causing that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, just be still. When would now be a good time?
Now.
All right. So I'll invite you to close your eyes for a moment and just take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Just let it all go. You can't get this wrong. I'm going to ask you a question. You can't get it wrong. Just whatever answer pops up, just answer it. Whether this is it or this is just an answer that gets you to an answer, it doesn't matter. Just whatever answer pops up. What are you using the eye thing for?
I don't know if this is the answer, but I would think I don't want to be seen. It seems would be it, but I'm not sure that that's
Okay.
it.
Well, there you go. And I'm sure your ego's using it for a lot of things. So it might be an onion, you just start shedding it, but I would start there. That's for certain. That might be it. That might be the whole thing, or it might just be part of the onion. But at least you got something to start working on. But hey, I don't want to be seen. So start working on that. Why don't you want to be seen?
That it doesn't make any sense because, as you can see on here, I'm always wanting to say something and be seen. So that doesn't make any sense.
So if you didn't want to be seen, why wouldn't you want to be seen?
Because I don't think I'm smart enough or good enough.
Yeah, there you go. So that's it. Just get to work on that stuff.
Okay.
What does your ego tell you would have to happen for you to be smart enough or good enough? Just first thing that pops up. What are some things that you'd have to do?
Oh, to have to sound like those that I think are smart enough and good enough.
Okay, yeah, there you go. So your ego says, hey, if I sounded like those that I think that I think are smart enough and good enough, then I'll be good enough.
It'd be okay to be seen.
Good enough to be seen, yeah. If there it is, look at that. See? And these are all just stories.
Oh, yes.
And then so we create these little stories and then we do the little thing and it happens so fast that we think that it's done, but it never even happened. Like, so now we're living inside of a story, an illusion that never even happened. See, the truth is your eye never even had the problem. but you did it so fast, you believed in it so fast that you created the illusion that it did, and then you lived inside of the thing, and you've just been hanging out there for however long, and you'll hang out there for however long you want to hang out there, and that's okay. So try this on. I created what's going on. I created problems with my eyes, and I love that, or my eye, or whatever.
I created problems with my eyes, and I love that.
Yeah, it's fine. I can keep the problems as long as I want, or I can let them go whenever I want.
I can keep the problems as long as I want, and I can let them go whenever I want.
Yeah, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. It's just an experience. That's the whole thing. This is like this whole human thing. It's like this. It's just an experience. We're just here. It's just, you don't go to a movie to watch the final scene. You go to the entire movie and the final scene. So we're in a movie right now, and let's enjoy it. All right, damn, I really fucked some shit up right there, didn't I? All right, well, that was exciting. That was a thrill. Wow, I didn't see that coming.
Right.
But it's great. It was an experience.
Wow.
Now just stop fucking shit up. It'll just be all right, right? It's okay. All right, I had that. That was fun. That was great. Did that experience. Now I know what love isn't. Oh, cool. I'm ready. Just experience love now. But it's the resistance of that scene keeps you in the scene. Because it'll be done with you when you're done with it. How do you know when you're done with it? Well, when it's gone, yeah, when you're done. When it's gone. But how do you do that? You love it. And that's it. You get back what you put in. What are you putting into your eye circumstance?
Wow.
It didn't look like it was love a moment ago. It looked like there was a lot of resistance towards it. A lot of, something other than love, even though underneath what you were sending was still love, because that's all there is. But so what you put into the circumstance is what you get back from the circumstance. What you put into the condition is what you get back from the condition. So when you're done with the condition that you've resistance to, how do you be done with it? You love it. So, that's what we're doing with Yash, helping him actually love his judgment on himself, love that he couldn't control his emotions, or whatever the thing is that he was creating, whatever the story was that he was creating, love that he can't add value to people. In fact, he's actually going the opposite. He's even worse than not adding value. And I love that, right? Because now that he can put love into not adding value, then love comes back from not adding value. Because now, look how many people just are getting set free because he was could love himself when he wasn't even when he was actually detrimental, right? When he did something that was hurting his loved ones, and he could still be worthy of love, it set other people free. So because he put love into hurting other people, right, in the story, because he gave love to that story brought love to the world. So you get back what you put in, and you're using it for. So that's our question for this next week, or for a while, at least this next week. But what am I using this for? What am I using it for? We talked about it was a couple of weeks ago, and somebody said, but the virus is creating all kind of division. No, the virus is not doing anything. The people are creating a lot of division and using the virus to do it. What am I using it for? Division, right? What am I using it for? So I'm using a virus, okay, cool, there's a virus. What am I using it for? Birth heaven on earth. Cool, here's the diversity shows up. Let's use this thing. Heaven on earth. Now it's time. Look at that. Perfect opportunity for people to start to be in harmony with nature and with each other, and come together and create communities and live a life that we actually deserve, rather than this consumeristic thing. We're trying to fill ourselves up from the outside in. We can actually fill ourselves from the inside out, sustainable from the inside out. Each person is sustainable from the inside out, living in a sustainable, world, a sustainable reality, a regenerative reality where we're creating, right? What better time? Yeah, right? They got this perfect catalyst. That's what I'm using it for. So you can use anything for whatever you want to use it for. So what are you now, Nancy? What are you going to use your eye circumstances or conditions for?
right now I would say I'm going to use it for loving it and letting it continue to speak to me what it's trying to speak to me so I can love it. And I also wanted to bring up the part about like whenever something would come up, even if it was an if it was an emotion, or if it was a problem with the relationship or whatever, I would always pray it away. So praying it away was almost like number 4. You know, you just feel like everything's done, right?
I don't know that I followed
Yeah, sorry.
what you said there.
It's kind of like when you pray it away, you're not really looking at it. You're running from it. You're
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
process is done. So, and that would be with my eye, you know, I'd be like, oh, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. You know, I'll look at that later. I'll look at that later.
Yeah, you don't want to see it. Yeah.
See
So, oh, there it is. It's resistance to seeing.
Resistance.
Resistance to seeing what you don't want to see. There it is.
Yeah. So I choose to see it, and I choose to. And the other thing I heard just recently was like, everything has a voice, and you can maybe speak into this as right or wrong, but or if I'm even saying it right.
Wrong.
Wrong. Right, that's right. There's no right or wrong. Excuse me. Forgive me, everybody.
The wrong's fun though.
That's my old program that I've had for many years. So I'm thankful it's dead, almost dead. It is dead now. No, okay, I'm behaving. What was I even saying? Oh yes, so like anger.
I don't know, but it was wrong. Whatever it was, but we know it was wrong. and not helpful.
And not helpful at all.
It's okay. I still love you guys. That's okay.
I'm not going to receive it. I'm not receiving your love.
I see that. I'm glad. Woo! Wow, that's good. That's good. I love it. That's good. I won't forget that, man. Oh man. But like everything that's like, you know how animals, they have a voice. They actually talk to us, right? If we're listening, and so that my eye has a voice. Well, the problem of my eye has a voice. So if it's talking to me, so I need to ask, what are you saying to me?
Yeah.
So, and that's part of what this is, right? So I'm going to start asking myself a lot of questions.
Yeah, I remember I had most of y'all probably heard when I tell the story, but I had like these like floaters in my eyes. Like it would just like, it was like, I don't know what's going on, but all this stuff going, and so I Googled it. Don't go Googling stuff. It says, oh yeah, your retina is detaching, so you're probably gonna go blind. I'm like, oh, well that's great. My retina is detaching, and I'm not gonna be able to. I'm gonna be blind soon. Okay, yeah, that's awesome. And so I'm like, all right, now, but at this point, I already understand I'm manifesting my reality and stuff. So I'm like, well, what am I gonna use this for? So what I started doing is, anytime I would notice them, I would start to appreciate my eyes that I get to see, and it would tune me to, like, I'd start like looking around more and being grateful for what I could see, and like, yeah, look at that tree, oh, look at that cloud, and I just started to receive more love than I ever had before. So the adversity became the opportunity, like the problem became the solution, because now I was able to like love my eyes more than I ever had before. And I just started using my eyes. Like, as before, I was like, I just took them for granted, took advantage of them, like that, and now all of a sudden I'm like, wow, thank you so much, eyes. Look at what I can see. Look what I can just take in. And so anytime the floaters would show up, that's like, oh yeah, a reminder, look at that. But it wasn't like I was trying to I wasn't trying to save my eyes. I was just really literally using the adversity to remind me of, just take a moment and just take it all in. Like, that's what my eyes are for, is just take it in. Just take it all in. And so then it just, after a while, it just stopped. So
it sounded like the key word there was, I wasn't trying to heal my eyes. Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, I wasn't trying to heal my eyes. I was just appreciating them.
The energy of the thankfulness and the gratitude and the appreciation brings the healing in itself.
Yeah, because back, like when you just said you used to try to pray things away, Now, I remember I started this thing, and I say it pretty much every single time, is prayer is not asking, God, will you change my circumstances? It says, no, God, help me see help me see this through the eyes of love. So that's what, you've been praying things away because you've been filtering out with your eyes. You've been filtering what you see because we don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. You've been filtering it with your judgment. So you've been filtering the world around you, all the things that you see with your judgment. So you're like, pray, get away from me. God, please take this from me. No, leave it right there, God, and let me see it the way that you see it. Remove the filters. So that's probably what's happening. You're cleansing your lens. That's why your eyes are like, all right, come on, it's time. It's time for you to take in unconditional love, for you to experience it unconditionally and fully. So now you can look it right in the, just look it right in the eyes, look, and just, take it in without the conditions. Full on unconditional love. So your eyes are the thing that you created with your eyes was the perfect opportunity to help you fully experience and take in unconditional love without the filters. Just look at it. Don't take this circumstances away from me. These are great circumstances. These are great conditions. Let me look at them and let me see them the way you see them, God. That's what prayer is. Well, if you actually want a new fruit. If you'd like to keep the same fruit, then just resist what you got and say, God, take it away from me. Okay, that'll be taken away, but then the next thing will pop right back up because wherever you go, there you are. You didn't shift on the inside. So maybe the outside mirror changed, but then there'll be another one pops right back up. So shift from the inside out. Noel, go ahead.
Was brought to the concept in A Course in Miracles that says there's no order of difficulty. So you can think like when Nancy was doing her thing for her eyes, I'm having teeth trouble, and teeth are a more solid, they're such a solid thing. If you've got teeth trouble, there's no way that's going to work out because there's an obstacle that is just so big and hard. It's the hardest substance in your body. So the idea that I have to even know how it's going to work out is ridiculous, but I just found it so helpful to just think about every time I'm having a thought about it, that, inviting that here's my beautiful opportunity to feel grateful. I know that I'm having some tooth sensation right now or something that's not right. Just it's so funny today. My head is not working. It's very interesting.
I love that.
I love that.
Yeah, there I beat you to it, but you were already on the way.
So that's that.
All right. Well, great job, Noel. Let's go ahead and read through some more of this, and I'm just going to read through, see if there's some cool. I bet there's some gold in here for Noel and some handful of other people. So let's just go through it. Just read through quick, and then and we can come back another week or something and dive into these other ones deeper. But I just want to at least have the gold out, at least sow the seeds so they can sprout. So who but yourself evaluates a threat, decides escape is necessary, and sets up a series of defenses to reduce the threat that has been judged as real. Okay, let's stop. That was deep right there. Let's stop there for a moment. So who but yourself evaluates a threat, decides escape is necessary, and sets up a series of defenses to reduce the threat that has been judged as real. So you who but you does that, sets up the whole damn thing and then creates all these little hurdles and everything you got through this. All this cannot be done unconsciously. But afterwards, your plan requires that you must forget that you made it. So it seems to be external to your own intent, a happening beyond your state of mind, an outcome with a real effect on you instead of one affected by yourself. Oh God, that's good, huh? Right. If this quick forgetting of the part you play in making your reality that makes defenses seem to be beyond your own control, but what you have forgot can be remembered, given willingness to reconsider the decision, which is doubly shielded by oblivion. Your not remembering is but the sign that this decision still remains in force as far as your desires are concerned. Mistake not this for fact. Defenses must make facts unrecognizable. They aim at doing this, and it is this they do. Every defense takes fragments of the whole, assembles them without regard to all their true relationships, and thus constructs illusions of a whole that is not there. It is this process that imposes threat, and not whatever outcome may result. When parts are wrestled from the whole and seen as separate and wholes within themselves, they become symbols standing for attack upon the whole, successful in effect and never to be seen as whole again. And yet you have forgotten what they stand for, but your own decision of what should be real to take the place of what is real. Sickness is a decision. Everyone say, sickness is a decision.
Sickness is a decision.
It is not a thing that happens to you, quite unsought, which makes you weak and brings you suffering. It is a choice you make, a plan you lay. When for an instant truth arises in your own deluded mind, and all your world appears to totter and prepare to fall. Now, are you sick? That truth may go away and threaten your establishments no more. How do you think that sickness can succeed in shielding you from truth? But it proves the body is not separate from you. And so you must be separate from the truth. You suffer pain because the body does. And in this pain are you made one with it. Thus is your true identity preserved, and the strange, haunting thought that you might be something beyond this little pile of dust silenced and stilled. For see, this dust can make you suffer, twist your limbs and stop your heart, commanding you to die and cease to be. Thus is the body stronger than the truth, which asks you to live, but cannot overcome your choice to die. And so the body is more powerful than everlasting life, heaven more frail than hell, and God's design for salvation of his son opposed by a decision stronger than his will. His son is dust, the Father incomplete, and chaos sits in triumph on his throne. Such is your planning for your own defense. And you believe that heaven quails before such mad attacks as these with God made blind by your illusions, truth turned into lies, and all the universe made slave to laws which your defenses would oppose upon it. Yet who believes illusions but the one who made them up? Who else can see them and react to them as if they were truth? God knows not of your plans to change his will. The universe remains unheeding of the laws by which you thought to govern it. And heaven has not bowed to hell, nor life to death. You can but choose to think you die or suffer sickness or distort the truth in any way. What is created is apart from all of this. Defenses are plans to defeat what cannot be attacked. What is unalterable cannot change. And what is wholly sinless cannot sin. And by the way, you are wholly sinless. Everybody say, I am wholly sinless.
I am wholly sinless.
That's the truth about you. But you created all this stuff, made it real. You created this identity, thought it was you, and you're trying to fix the problems that you created, but you never even created because there are no problems. Everybody said there are no problems.
There are no problems.
Such is the simple truth. It does not make appeal to nor might nor triumph. It does not command obedience nor seek to prove how pitiful and futile your attempts to plan defenses that would alter it. Truth merely wants to give you happiness, for such is its purpose. Perhaps it sighs a little when you throw away its gifts, and yet it knows with perfect certainty that what God wills for you must be received. It is this fact that demonstrates that time is an illusion. For time lets you think what God has given you is not the truth right now, as it must be. The thoughts of God are quite apart from time, for time is but another meaningless defense that you made against the truth. Yet what he wills is here, and you remain as he created you. Truth has power far beyond defense, for no illusions can remain where truth has been allowed to enter. And it comes to any mind that would lay down its arms and cease to play with folly. It is found at any time today, if you will choose to practice giving welcome to the truth. This is our aim today, and we will give a quarter of an hour twice to ask the truth to come to us and set us free. And truth will come, for it has never been apart from us. It merely waits for just this invitation which we give today. We introduce it with a healing prayer to help us rise above defensiveness and let truth be as it has always been. Sickness is a defense against the truth. I will accept the truth of what I am and let my mind be wholly healed today. Let's all read that out loud together. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Sickness is a defense against the truth. I will accept the truth of what I am and let my mind be wholly healed today. Amen. All right, so I'll go ahead and end it with that. That's the official end, and then I'll open it up for a couple shares. But so thank you all again for being here. Thank you, Yash, for being a beautiful leader of making that journey from the head through the emotions to the heart, helping us be set free by just what was your truth that you said on the other side? That what's your job?
To be me.
Just be as I am.
Just be as I am.
So you learn to just be as you were, not trying to like be something different than you. You're like, oh wait, but no, I'm all amazing, awesome. No, here I am right now, right? And that was what set us free. So you made the journey from control, from slavery, because slavery, the mind is slavery because it's attempt to control. We left that and just let go of control and got stuck in the emotions. But then when we stopped resisting the emotions, we weren't stuck in them anymore. We just felt them and we fell right down in the heart. No more need to control, just be. And then from there, then we brought the heart to the emotions and the emotions to the thoughts. And now the thoughts can transform this planet from the inside out. We've healed humanity from the inside out today. So thanks everyone for being here. We got Awaken Life Live coming up. If you have not registered there's the Zoom one, it's awakenlifelive.com. It's free. Share it with the world. The world could really use some truth right now to set us free from the delusions that we have created to force ourselves to suffer so we can whatever crazy stuff we think that we're doing so we can be in control. So Awaken Life Live would be really awesome to bring the world if you want to share that. And then we've got Awaken Life Live in person, live and in person in Costa Rica on June 14th, 15th, and 16th. If you want to come to that, it's limited seating. So make sure you secure your spot. It's a $27 seat reservation fee so that we know that you're coming. If you go to awakenlifelive.com/Costa Rica, get your spot. We're getting close to about half the spots already taken. So make sure you get your spot reserved. This is our first one we've done live since before COVID, and it's going to be just powerful. It's going to be impactful. It's going to be, you definitely not, if there's any way in shape or form you can get there, you're going to want to get there. It's like I just can't even start to begin to explain to you the miracles and the power that you're going to experience flowing through you as you come to this. So make sure you get there. Y'all are my peeps. I hope that you guys, the people that are here for sure, as many of you as possible get there. So I love that new people get to come in too, but I really love you guys as well. So that's awakenlifelive.com/Costa Rica. And I guess that's about it. If anybody feels called to tithe or donate, you can go to earthwaking.org and click on give, and then you can go make a tithe or a donation there. Sow some seeds. If you like this, it's you don't vote at the polls, you vote with your dollar bills. If you would like to see more of this in your world, then keep voting for it. Sow some seeds so money is a magnifier. It can be magnified. We can share this with more people across the planet. The more that we, more resources that we pour into this and we co-create this thing together, the more people on the planet actually get to wake up. If you like this stuff. So, and it tunes you to abundance as well. Unconditional giving sets the stage for unconditional receiving. So you can tune into, if you just purely just give unconditionally and sow seeds into something you believe in, then all of a sudden money will just start flowing at you without you having to do all the conditions that you created. So you'd be worthy of abundance. I got to do this and I got to work this many hours. I got all this stuff. You know, it'll just start to flow in when you've tuned into unconditional giving. So I'm going to go ahead and end the recording, and then I'll open up. We'll go for like another 15 minutes, hang out here. So, an Earthwaking Village, like right there, earthwakingvillage.com. If you're just watching this, if you haven't plugged into the village, we got a virtual village plugged into the village there. That's where our healthy fish tank. If you take a healthy fish and you put him in a dirty fish tank, what happens to the fish? He gets all dirty, then he runs around bitching and complaining about everything all the time. That was Kirk said that. That was Kirk's. He says, what happens if you take a healthy fish, you put him in a dirty fish tank? They just run around bitching and complaining about everything all the time. So thank you, Kirk, for that great, awesome truth. So what happens when you take that dirty, bitchy, complaining fish and you stick him in a healthy fish tank? He gets happy, healthy, and healed. Peace, love, and joy. So this earthwakingvillage.com, that's our healthy fish tank for the whiny, bitchy, complaining fish to come get cleaned up. So that's our official, that is Earthwaking's official stand, or that's official statement from Earthwaking University. We talked about this last night at dinner.
From the
Kirk
desk
did-
of the CEO.
There it is. Kirk, yeah, that's our official stand, right, Kirk? What have I done? All right.
I have to get out. I was never here. I have no idea what we're talking about.
All right, cool. All right, let me stop my recording. All right, so YouTubers, see y'all in the village. Come on.